Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is to create the chord progression. What I did was to load in Nexus, go to piano, then arena ambience, and then I just turn off the delay. So I started off with this, So I started off with this basic chord progression. And essentially, I'm sure you've heard this in so many drill songs, so I'm going to try to spice it up a bit. I'm going to show you a lot of cool technique that you can do is by basically reversing a sample. But before we do that, we need to change the order of the chords so that when we reverse it, it plays in the right order. I'll show you what I mean in a second. Okay, so now that we've done that, we go to the master track, go to Edison, and click record. So we drag that into the playlist. We cut off any excess of the sample that we don't want. Go to the top left, click make unique a sample. And then we double click it, click reverse. It should sound something like this. I think that sounds pretty cool. But what we do next is we can add some effects to the sample. This is what it sounds like with some effects on it. Now for the intro, I added halftime just to keep it a bit interesting and so that it doesn't get repetitive. So the first plugin that I added was Valhalla Supermassive. This is a free plugin that you can use for creating really unique reverb sounds, and it's got loads of different presets and loads of different modes. And if you want some really unique reverb, just get this. It's free. You can go to Google and download it right now, just really easily. And yeah, the next plugin, obviously halftime, then Fruity Panamatic. Essentially what this is an auto pan, but I was using it to make my sound here sound a little bit more wide, and I use stereo enhancer for the same reason here, just to make the sample sound a bit wider. And I also added parametric EQ to take out some of the high ends and the low ends, and a bit of the low mids, just so that it didn't clash with the other instruments, and also to make it sound a bit more drilly. Yeah, so the next step was to add the hi-hats. Now the hi-hats are the basis of any drill song. You can't really have a drill song without it, and the pattern pretty much stays the same throughout them all, and it goes like this: add one, miss two, add one, miss two, add one, miss one, and then repeat. Add one, miss two, add one, miss two, add one, miss one, and then repeat. So now we can go to the piano roll, select this, and then drag that over here, copy and paste this essentially, and drag that over here just to make the sample longer, and it should sound something like this. Now you're probably noticing that the sound is panning from left to right. Essentially what I did was just to add Fruity Panamatic to it, to the hi-hat or the shaker. I use a shaker in this case, but the way Fruity Panamatic works is the amount knob determines the amount of pan, and the speed knob determines how fast it pans from one ear to the other. So if I've dragged the amount to the max, you'll really hear it fully in each ear if you're wearing the headphones. And if I put the speed, it will be like super fast or relatively slow. I think that sounds pretty good. And then what you want to do, gonna want to do next is to add the 808. So I loaded in this 808 sample, and then it sounds like this. Now, in order to create slide notes, you just click a note in anywhere on the piano roll, double click it, and then click these two. Now, the way it works is the note starts at the regular note, and then it slides up to the slide note that you've placed in. So for here, we'll start at C5 and then slide up to C7. But the longer you make the slide notes, the slower the overall slide will be, and the shorter you make the slide notes, the faster the overall slide will be. And yeah, that's pretty much how slide notes work. Just practice, just play around with it, and that's how you'll pretty much get the hang of how slide notes work with drill. At first, you might not get the sound you want, but just keep practicing, keep trying to emulate the songs you hear, and that's how you'll get better, essentially. I added some variation to the 808 just to keep it interesting. And yeah, so I added a kick as well. This doesn't really change throughout the song. And I also added the snare. I laid it with this snare just to make it sound a bit more full. That's pretty much the whole beat. I added some variation for the shakers as well, and after the main verse in the breakdown, I added a choir. And yeah, that's pretty much the whole song. There are some reverses and some crashes, but that's it for the most part. So if you like this tutorial, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to my channel, and comment down below what type of tutorial you want to see next. Alright, peace.